There I am. There you are. So let me say welcome to the North York Dowsers. We build the talk today is fixing geopathic stress and other things that bug you, which I like that. But this is my more formal title, Geoprosperous Places in Geopathic Stress, Balancing Earth and Environmental Energies. So when I was trained back about 15 years ago, in those days everybody looked for geopathic stress. That's all we talked about. And that's what we worked with. We spent our time doing that. As we've evolved as a technology and a practice over the years, we now talk more about power places. And I invented this term a couple years ago, geoprosperous. So instead of focusing on geopathic, that which makes you sick, my focus, I like to have the focus, geoprosperous. Let's look and focus on the things that make us healthy. So who has heard me speak before? And who has never heard me speak before? Well, welcome. Who can't remember if I spoke? I don't know. So maybe, maybe not. So I've been around for a long time. There's my Norton kicking in. So that's a reminder that it's important all the time to have protection around you. Cancel the process? Yes, thank you very much. I mean, that's perfect. So the Spirit gives us the things we need in that moment. So as I begin to speak, the computer says, oh, don't forget to have a system in place that will keep your computer safe. And it's the same with dowsing. We need a system in place that will keep our body, mind, spirit safe. So over the years, I've developed this dowsing protocol. Everybody should have that as a little blue sheet. And please pull it out. With luck, we'll have spirit of the room. Or Norton, at the beginning of this, the Norton program kicked in with the computer. And I use the computer a lot, and sometimes I remember at another conference I was doing, somebody else touched it and the whole thing shut down. And I had to introduce the computer to the person who was my technician. And I was mic'd. I'd sort of forgotten I was mic'd. I entered in, computer shut down, and I said, no, this is my friend, it's okay, she's good. And it came back up. Wow. So inanimate objects respond. If you swear at your computer or your car, it will behave in a not a nice way. It doesn't respond. But if you actually appreciate everything, people are like that too. But you can communicate with all things. But you have to know what you're communicating with. This little cartoon is a seance lady. She says, I'm not channeling your husband, but your begonias are wondering why you planted them so early. So we have, we think we're doing something, but our thought pattern is often so scattered that we need to focus. This is why we talk about intention. What are you trying to do? If you're trying to contact your dead husband, then you got to stop thinking about your begonias, because everything is accessible all the time, and you just have to decide what is it that I want to look for, and then go in like that. And the protocol, I'm going to keep reminding you of that. That is going to help you have that focus. But set in your intention. What are we trying to do is the main thing. So the protocol is in all the books. I'm not going to go into great length here, but just to remind you, at the first, and this is on your sheet in tiny print, you want to balance your physical body. So you want to have, water, food, be comfortable. Now, right now, this time of night, everybody's kind of tired. The air is closing in on us, and this is not prime dowsing time. We'll all be yawning by the end of it. So this would not be the time or place to douse critical things. This is the place and time to get the information. You want to connect to the dowsing system. For me, I connect first to the intelligence of nature, because to me, everything has intelligence. My lovely computer, everything. Not just trees and plants and us. It's the inanimate objects. It's the electrical grid. It's the grid of the highway. So if you're driving someplace and you're being blocked, the traffic is bad, you can talk to the diva or the light being or the consciousness of the highway system and explain, hey, I really have to get to a certain place by a certain time. Can you please make sure that the road is clear? And if you do that, you will get to where you need. Always ask to be in the right place at the right time, and that will happen. So you can talk to everything. Forgiving, so I connect with the intelligence of nature, the divine source, and then my spirit team. And also, I ask for the assistance of beneficial beings in resonance with me, the divine source, and the place that I will be. So tonight as I drove up, I asked for all my stuff, but then beneficial beings in resonance with myself, North York Dowsers, the building, and everything. And as I drove, like I feel stuff in my body, so I actually perked up and felt more clear-headed when I asked for that. So there's the regular spirit team, and then you can ask for specific beings to assist on a project. So if you're doing a well, or if you're buying a car, or if you're trying to decide what vacuum to buy, or whatever, there are specific beings that can help, that don't stay with you all the time. So forgive yourself. This is to get you to the place, this is before you dose. Step 4 is clearing yourself of non-beneficial energies. This is the removal of things. Step 5 is maximizing your energy field, because when you take stuff out, you need to put good stuff back in. Yes, ma'am. Sorry. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for mentioning that. And then seeking permission to dose. So that's a very, it can be a very intrusive thing. If we dose on each other without permission, or do energy work on each other without that person's permission, it's a form of black magic in my book. So these are your own ethics. But this information is all transmitted for the best and highest good. And I can assure you that if any of the information is used not for the best and highest good, that there will be consequences that only you will experience. That's the caveat. So be careful. This is the real deal. This is not like a party game. This actually changes things. So be careful. So seek permission to dose. This is the may, I, can, I, should I. This is all detailed here. The dosing is the easy part. Step 8, create a matrix. This is my gift, I think, is to create an ever-changing energy matrix that automatically creates the conditions you're looking for. So if you're dealing with geopathic stress and you have a line coming into your house that is non-beneficial for you, you can clear it up in the moment with step 4 and 5. But the long-lasting effect comes from step 8, so that in your house, on an ongoing basis, there is the perfect energy system that will automatically adjust all energies, whether it's from the subway or the neighbors or whatever it's coming from. You set up an automatic system. So you don't have to be doing it all the time, because we're human beings here. Yes, ma'am?
Would you mind just do an example of how to do it?
Well, we'll get to that. But, you know, it's all here. What I want to give you is the concept. Don't just do it. Ask for an ongoing system. Ever-changing energy matrix, automatically clear up. We'll do one before the night's over. We'll probably do one at the very end. We'll do like a balancing on everybody. Okay, and it'll make more sense back then. So at the end of it all, you need to disconnect, otherwise you're dragging these energies home with you. That's what happened to me in the early days. I would do houses, and then I would have to sit down for the next day, because I hadn't disconnected. I was still dragging this stuff around. And then thank the energies that have assisted you, and communicate your results appropriately. Not everybody's ready to hear this. It's too frightening. It can be frightening. Part of my job is to make this as normal as possible. But if you have people in your lives who don't feel comfortable, you can say, oh, this is a healing prayer. You wouldn't say, can I douse for you? Can I help you with dowsing? You might say, oh, can I do a healing prayer with you? And that will help some people. So it's a matter of being open-minded and then gently approaching people with this kind of stuff. So I have a very wordy system, but on awakening with the first sip of water, you could say, heal me if there's anything wrong, and give me the wisdom to share. And I love that for its simplicity. And the key there, I'm not saying I'm sick. When you say, oh, please, cure my, and then say a disease, when you state the disease, you bring it to you. Excuse me. So that's, when you focus on the geopathic stuff, that's what you get. If you say, oh, thank you for my good health, even if you don't actually feel that healthy, thank you for my good health. And go into that sense, and that's what will generate. So heal me if there's anything wrong, give me the wisdom to share. Not everything at once, but just, and you can ask when you receive this stuff to be able to integrate it at the appropriate rate. Because sometimes I find spirit just dumps this information down so fast, it's very hard to keep track of. And that's another good reason to use tools, because the tools slow down the response. And I personally don't remember, if I'm doing a dowsing session, I don't remember it. I write down every single response. Because when, you know, you saw on that chart earlier, the conscious mind is there, but these other brainwave patterns are as active. So just give yourself a break and write it down when you're doing it.